Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today I'm gonna be talking about Squid Game, and I was actually a big fan of the first season, and I went with very, very low expectations for the second one, but I enjoyed it as its own sort of separate action TV show more than anything. So it wasn't as bad as I expected. But I do have to say that the biggest uh, good surprise and thing that really warmed my heart was actually good trans representation. So I do have to say that I agree that obviously at first sight, when we see a cis male actor play a trans woman, usually it's factually transphobic, and usually the people don't actually research what it is to be trans, and very often it just boils down to the whole that trans women or trans men are pretty much men dressed in women's clothing and etc. While in this case, I do understand that they should have probably gotten a cis woman to play a trans woman, at least because in South Korea, obviously, um, getting a trans actor would be impossible. There are, again, from what I understand, from what I've read, from what I've heard, obviously, LGBT representation has been very difficult to even achieve in South Korea because um, the government is quite conservative. The previous president was quite conservative. And the population as well. And obviously, in a lot of East Asian countries, we also have a lot of conservatism, and people can be very close-minded, even more like the majority of the population can be close-minded, or can, just because there is no representation, they don't understand it very well. So obviously, when these stories shine through, when representation happens, it is always a good thing. So I do want to say that even if it's not the best choice of an actor, because they should have gotten an actress in this case, I do have to say the representation really warms my heart, because I do feel like very often when we have trans people portrayed, they can be very one note, or the story is about being trans. And I do have to say that I did see quotes interviews with the creator of Squid Game, and he did say that he wanted to show the communities which would end up in such situations like Squid Game, and he specifically highlighted that trans people obviously face hardships, and it's very difficult in Korea for them to transition to keep their jobs and etc. And I found it very good as well that, or rather, I found it interesting. I enjoyed the fact that they gave her a military background, and the fact that the military sort of fired her, and it just exposed the fact that for trans people, for trans women specifically, regardless of any point in transition, obviously it is very difficult for them to keep jobs. And in general, for trans people, it is very difficult to keep jobs. And also, certain things like the fact that she wants to move to Thailand was quite interesting, because people do strive to sort of move to Thailand if they're from that part of the world, from what I understand. And I do have to say that obviously, I am still a Westerner. Talking about trans representation in South Korea, but obviously because it's on Netflix, and because it is sort of a big show which has captured the eyes of many, I still feel like taking. I'm really sorry, I'm gonna butcher names because I do not speak Korean, obviously, but having a trans character like Hyunju uh, really warms my heart. And And me being sort of the gay fanboy of everything, I also found in general how characters reacted around her, how people listened to her, how people respected her, and even if there was a learning curve, it was very sweet. And also like her relationship with young me, and obviously I'm trying not to spoil, but it was very very touching to see. And it's always sort of, even if it's like not as explicit, it was still very sweet. And I'm not trying to sort of bait anyone into anything. The trans representation is great, and it's always nice. Obviously, if you ship characters, there is things to sort of put in your shipper glasses for. But again, it's really shipper glasses. And I don't know. I was just sort of seeing all this really bad not bad representation, but in general, obviously, we've been having lots of transphobia around. We've been having a difficult year in terms of rights, and obviously, it's been rough. And also, this is obviously the last video of the year, so it was really nice. And I think I binged the whole season, something like 2 or 3 days tops. So I quite enjoyed it, and I really feel like it's very important to keep showcasing these things, because just for representation, we will make people understand that we're not different from cis people, and trans people come in all shapes and sizes as well. And we have interests, different ones, different walks of life, different sexuality, and we're nothing to be scared of, really. And that's what I really enjoyed as well, which was portrayed. And in general, the thing with Squid Game, it's very bizarre that sort of people like Mr. Beast or other morons sort of watched it and were like, yeah, I'm gonna do a show about the game. So in reality, it was a massive critique of our capitalistic world, specifically society in South Korea, and how the world has been going on. But people don't get that, and it was very bizarre to sort of see a backlash against trans people in Squid Game, when obviously we are, and in South Korea as well, a very discriminated minority, really. There's nothing more to say or to deny, and we've had a lot of transphobia shoved down our throats, and even when it's not transphobia, it's harder for us to even maintain relationships with family due to ignorance. And sometimes I just can be sitting on the sofa and think like, who am I harming by just existing? But people actually take an amazing sort of um, gymnastic approach of making being trans their own problem if they're cis. And at the end of the day, we're not doing anything wrong by existing. This is a medical condition, or any other word you want to put it into. Me being trans is just as natural as someone being diabetic, really. And I guess just to wrap this short video with, go watch Squid Game if you want to see good trans representation. Obviously, if you enjoyed the first season, don't get high hopes. It's really just action filled. It's still very heartwarming to see that, and specifically with like Pixar stepping away from trans content and rejecting, rather throwing away a trans storyline. It's very nice to see the South Korea and Squid Game and Netflix decided to use it, so it's really nice. And other than that, I wanted to say thank you very much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. if you enjoy these type of videos. I usually do longer ones. Please feel free to subscribe if you have anything to say. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to get a like. And I guess just Happy New Year. Please surround yourself with positive people. Don't take bullshit from anyone. Um, yeah, just had a rough week family wise, but it's all good. I guess just gonna go ahead with the year. Gonna start getting my license. Thank you very much for watching, and once again, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for all the support.